What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Cheer Up. Today on the podcast, I have a super dope guest. His name is Jaquez Williams, also known as Quez. Yes, sir. I have Navarro Cheerleader, Quez, Wildcats Cheerleader, and he's been in so many other gyms doing his thing. So, without further ado, here's the podcast with Quez. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Cheer Up. Today, my guest is another cool dude, a bad bass, and he's a performer. When he hits the mat, man, he lights up the stage. He has cheered for several gyms like Ace Cheer, California All Stars, PBL Platinum, and he coached at PBL. Then he moved to Texas to cheer for Navarro College. He's also cheering for Cheer Athletics Wildcats. Please help me welcome Jaquez Williams, aka Quez. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Woo, woo. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for being on the podcast. I appreciate it, man.
No, thank you for having me on your podcast. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I've been ready, man, for a while.
Well,
So last time I hit you up, I was like, hey, you want to be on the pod? And you're like, yes. I was like, from that moment, I was ready to go. How about you?
I'm excited. I just want to say I'm proud of you and what you've became and so far.
Oh,
And I think this podcast is literally just enough and it's going to be amazing. And I wish you the best in your endeavors for sure.
thank you so much, man. That means a lot, brother. That means a lot to me, for real.
You're amazing.
Um, Thank you, man. Thank you. I remember when we first met at Palm Beach Lightning when you were in Platinum, remember? And you also coached one of my girls.
Yeah, the good old days, the good old days. I miss it. It was so much fun. We had a lot of fun, I must say. Palm Beach Lightning is definitely one of the, I wouldn't say underrated, but it's one of those gyms that's just amazing and filled with great people. So, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter and I was telling her that last night. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have Quez on the podcast yesterday. And she's like, oh, you're gonna have Quez? I'm like, oh, she's like, I love him. I love his energy. And I love when he was at the gym, he would talk to me and just talk to, you talk to everybody and you would be like, yeah, girl, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I love that. I miss him. She was telling me
Oh, I love her. I hope she's doing well for sure.
she's
I hope
doing
that
well.
that has been yes. So
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right. So let's start this podcast, man. Let's start by first. Look, listen, I love when, like, as far all the cheerleaders that I've had so far and coaches that I've had here, I love their stories, how they began their cheer career, how
close.
they began it, why they began cheer. So let's start from the very beginning of your story. How old were you when you started cheering, and what gym did you start your journey?
So the way I started my cheer journey, it started when I would say 12, 13. I have a twin brother. And so it literally started when my mom tried to sign us up for recreational football. And clearly everyone knows me that I'm not about to play no football. So I instantly saw the cheerleaders on the sideline and they were doing like back in the days when you did a prep or, a extension, you're cool. So I believe it was an extension that I saw, and I was just like, "Holy crap! That looks really cool. I want to try that." But keep in mind, like I'm 12, so I'm like, okay, but I came here to sign up for football with my twin brother. It's not going to happen. Like I didn't know how to tell my mom how I wanted to, try that over there. So me being smart like I am, I told her, I want to do gymnastics. And luckily, there was a gymnastics gym right across the street from the sports complex called Ingram's Gymnastics. I still remember. So she enrolled me there instead of cheer or whatever, right? I love gymnastics. I love like the individuality it had to it. It taught me a lot, especially learn how to like focus on myself and create a certain determination that I needed. But I wasn't really feeling it. Like I just felt like I was always competing against my teammate next to me. And everyone was just so
Wow.
serious, including the coaches. Keep in mind the coaches were Russian, so that doesn't help at all as well. So I did that for maybe 3 years, and keep in mind my twin brother still played football at the same sport complex across the street. And so by the time I was 14, 15, I was getting ready to, transition over to high school or in transition. So I remember going to my first high school pep rally, and our high school team was good back in the day. It's like one states. So what triggered me was seeing a kick double basket they did at the pep rally. My mouth was on the ground. I was just like, what in the world? Like, what is that? So that solidified cheer for me. So I remember one day I went up to the high school coach and I was just like, could you teach me how to like throw a girl? And she literally just started laughing. And she was like, I would love to teach you, but you already missed tryouts, hon. And I was just like, oh, dang, that sucks. But she was like, I have a mascot position open for you. And so I went to mascot first. And that still gave me a lot of exposure I needed because I needed to be at practice with the cheerleaders. And also I had to go to states with the cheerleaders. So I did a year of mascot, right? And so by now, as I'm doing that year of mascotting, I found the All-Star gym that our cheerleaders went to, which was called High Flight All-Stars at the time. And during that time, I guess it would be considered a D2 gym. So I got enrolled at High Flight All-Stars. And my first team that I made was a level 5 team. Keep in mind, no tumbling, don't know how to jump. Bare, I have little knowledge of tossing a girl, lifting a girl, right? So I did 2 years of that. By my second year, I was already progressing heavenly. So meaning like koas, jumps, I tumbled here and there. And so High Fly unfortunately shut down that my second year there. So I went over to Ace Cheer Company, which was like 15 minutes, maybe 25 minutes at the time away from my house. So I tried out for Warriors, Ace Warriors, and I made it. So that was like my first Worlds team, I guess. So after that, I literally got the bug of just becoming the best cheerleader I can be, technically, really and truthfully. However, I had a lot of like, I wouldn't say family issues, but I'm from a big family. So my mom really couldn't afford cheerleading. So thank God, like Ace Cheer Company, they had scholarship programs for athletes like me growing up that they pretty much, utilize the team moms and people throughout the gym that was willing to take on an extra bill pretty much. And so once I started to become more comfortable at Ace, I knew I couldn't stop there in a way. So by the time it was time for me to graduate high school in 2015, I then moved to California, where I did UCLA online for a year and a half. And I also stayed in San Marcos, California, and La Jolla, where I went to California All Stars. So I spent some time at California All Stars. It was fun. It was great. Keep in mind, I'm still super young. I got homesick. So I went back home for like 2 months and then decided my best friend was like, I'm moving down to Jupiter, Florida. So I'm like, okay, Jupiter, Florida, never heard of it. I heard of Mars, but not Jupiter. But so I did move my way down to Jupiter, Florida, and that's where I discovered my first coaching job ever. And I also discovered Palm Beach Lightning, woot woot, go PBL. And I did, how many years did I think I did 2 years on platinum, 3 years on platinum, something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while. So that was amazing and fun and all that stuff. And so I, threw in the towel that year once at my third year on platinum. And then I decided, one of my friends at Navarro was like, hey, you need to come to Navarro. Like, you will love it. So I'm like, okay, let me just try it. And this is at the time where I think the show just took off. So I really didn't know much about it, didn't even watch the show or anything yet. But I went there, fell in love instantly. And then my dream team, of course, Triathletic Wildcats. I've been dreaming of them since like 2011, 2012, back in my eighth grade, ninth grade years when I was first starting cheerleading, searching on YouTube. And honestly, I think YouTube a lot is because if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably wouldn't even know what a Triathletic Wildcats is. So I got
Right.
the blessing to cheer for cheer athletics, and it was amazing. And now I'm back for round two at Navarro and cheer athletics. So that was
Nice,
a
man.
mouthful, I know, but that was like my journey. That was a
That
lot.
that was your journey in like 5 minutes, but I'm sure that journey wasn't
Oh,
easy.
oh,
You
it
coming
wasn't.
up and because yeah, but it's funny that you say that. I love the story of someone that has the love for something and they're willing to do anything to be part of that. Like when you said like the coach had a mascot position, right? And you're like, you didn't go, you know what? No, I'll try it next time, or I don't want to be a mascot. You know, most kids would be like, I don't want to be a mascot. I want to be a cheerleader. So, and they don't do it. But the fact that you said yes to being a mascot because you wanted to be in that community, in that cheer world, and that you knew that that was going to take you later on to becoming a cheerleader, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely, I mean, I can still remember it like it was yesterday. I mean, I literally remember it. I just wanted to cheer. Like, I don't care what I have to do. Like, if I have to be a mascot to get there next year, I would do it. And that's what I was thinking at the time. And that even shows you like that's a true passion, you know. Passion
I
is very
agree.
to enjoy
I,
something that you love the most for sure.
I agree. That's super impressive. A lot of kids won't do stuff like that. Like, not kids nowadays will not do something. Uh, let's just say at a workplace, if you want to be, just say a photographer, and the photographer has a position to sweep the floors, they won't do it. You know what I mean? That's kind of similar to what I'm getting at with you. Like, you did the mascot thing to get to cheer. That's awesome, man. I really applaud you for that. That's great.
Thank you. We need some applause sound effects.
No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna put those in.
Well, yes,
Uh,
they
okay. Let me ask you something. You know that saying, cheerleading is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle, right? So is that saying true, or do you live by it, and why?
I totally have to agree that saying is true. It is a lifestyle. Like even for me, as for example, is that there are times where I literally realize I literally eat, sleep, breathe, cheer. But once again, it goes back to having that passion. Like I have a passion for it. So technically, I don't really have a moment to where I'm just like, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm over it. I mean, at this point, you just eat, sleep, breathe it. And it is a lifestyle. And the outsiders that are not in it, they wouldn't really understand it. You have to be in it to know it.
Correct, I agree. And why is it that you have that passion for cheerleading? Why is it that lifestyle?
Because I feel like it's a lifestyle for me because I look at it from an outlet point of view, like it's an outlet for me. Like if I'm stressing or I'm having, a terrible day or something, I know at the end of the day, I'm going to have practice. I'm going to be around my second family, my teammates, and I'm going to be able, it feels great to know that I'm always loved by my coaches. So that's how I really look at it.
Oh wow. And talking about like days that you're down and days that you're not feeling so good. Do you have those days? Because you're a cheerleader, you know? Do you have
Yeah,
those days?
we're human, right? I feel like every human has those days where they're down or they're just not feeling it. But at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself your purpose and your why. And remember that you just have to keep going and rolling with the punches.
That's right. Um, Let me tell you, what is your daily routine like when you wake up, you go to cheer? Tell me, like what is it like? Like, I know people on the other end would be like, what does Quez do in the morning all the way till he goes to the gym?
Okay. Well, from a cheer perspective, so everyone knows I am a college cheerleader and I also do all stars. So a typical day for me would be I would wake up 7:30 a.m., brush my teeth, skincare routine, all that fun stuff, right? And then class starts at 9 a.m., 9:45 sometimes. And I have my little class moment, get my work done. But I'm smart. I try to knock out all my class stuff the night before. So I won't stress the next day. But once class ends, I grab a quick little snack out of my bag and practice starts at 12:45. And I would typically get out of class around 11:30, I would like to say. It's a short window going from class right into practice. So for me, that was always a little tough for me because I'm working on my time management, okay, everybody. Like I'm really trying. I think I've actually done a lot better, but there was days it's like, okay, I'm gonna be late to practice this day because my teacher just decided to let me out 15 minutes later, I guess. But yeah, practice starts at 12:45 and it ends at 3:45. And for people like me and some of my teammates that do all stars at triathletics, we have practice at 8 p.m. So that means we get maybe like an hour and 30 minutes of a break before we have to make that hour and 5 minute drive to Dallas. Which is something that you have to get used to. I'll be honest, it's the worst first 2 weeks of your life when you're getting into the college cheer and all stars things, but you get used to.
Wow.
And I have practice from 8 to 10:30 p.m. in Dallas. And then for some reason, my teammates and friends, they like to hang out at the gym after practice is over. So you really don't get home until like 11:55, 12 o'clock sometimes. And then you do it all over again the next day. Now, you may be blessed because you may not have cheer athletics the next day, but hey, so I mean, that's literally my life.
Oh, wow. So you go back to back to back, pretty
Yes.
much.
And when you get to comp season with All Stars, it's even harder because say you have NCA. Well, you have NCA show offs one day, you have NCA practice, and then you have to compete Saturday and Sunday. So some days you live in Dallas.
Wow. So cheer athletics is in Dallas and
Yeah,
Navarro,
it's in Plano, Texas, and Navarro is in Corsicana, Texas.
an hour, 45-minute drive.
No, it's an hour and like 5 minutes.
Oh, hour five, but still an hour.
Rec, it could be an hour, 20 minutes, hour and 30.
Hour going, hour back. By the time
Hour,
you go to, by the time you get to bed.
yeah, done. So, but it's great to have a carpool system, I've learned, because like we all take turns driving, you know? So like if it's my turn to drive, I'll drive up, drive back, and then tomorrow or the next day, I'll be sleeping on the way up and on the way back.
Yeah, it's your turn to drive. I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
So, Quez, in your opinion, what does it take to be an amazing cheerleader or athlete in general?
I personally would like to say just be better than you were yesterday. And even when it comes to cheerleading, just remember that you're in a sport that requires a lot of determination and discipline. And if you have those things down, that's going to, make you the best cheerleader on earth, in my opinion.
Nice. I believe discipline is a big one. I think in every athlete.
Yes, for sure.
Would you say like one day there's days that you don't feel like cheering, you don't feel like going, or your self-discipline kicks in?
Okay. My inner Beyonce would say my self-discipline kicks in, but as a human, I guess, or a normal person, that I feel like that goes for anybody, whether they're working a 9 to 5 or whether they're an Olympic training gymnast. I really just feel like, everyone has those days and we're human. So, you have to stay motivated for sure.
That's very true. That's very true. I agree with you. Sometimes, we don't want to do things, but we have to do them. You have no choice.
Exactly. That's what makes the world go round.
Okay, let me ask you this. What would you say are three characteristics, which I think you mentioned two of them, but I don't know if you have any more. Three characteristics a cheerleader must have in order to be great.
So I would like to piggyback off of when I was speaking on determination. That's a major key factor. Discipline would be a second one, and passion. I'm telling you, if you have passion, you're going to go far. You're going to go far. But even if you lack an ounce of passion, you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to want to do it anymore. You're going to find yourself doing something completely different.
Do you have a role model in cheer or someone that you look up to
Can you guess my role model first?
and that pushes you? Can I guess your role model?
Yeah, try.
Wait. Okay. I think I got it. Beyonce.
You're so smart. Are you like psychic or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that is so crazy. Yes, and the reason why I would say her, I love her for so many reasons, not just for music. I am a numbers person. When I say numbers, very statistical about people, and then also the business mind behind the brand itself. I just love every single thing that she does and the way that she carries herself. And I try to take some of those incentives and acquire them in my life as well, because I mean, who doesn't want to be iconic? So so yeah, I would go with Beyonce for sure. Like that would be my ultimate role model if I had to pick one person. And I know she's not a cheerleader, but hey, it works.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it didn't matter if it was cheerleader or not. That's awesome. How do you has she changed your life in any way?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. yes and no. Yes, because I've seen her go through so much as a normal human being herself. And that really showed me, hey, we're all human. We're going to go through things. It just, the only thing that matters the most is how well you deal with that and how you overcome it, for sure. And I would say no in a way because, I mean, she's Beyonce. But I mean, it still works, you know?
No, yeah, no, that is awesome. I mean, she has gone through a lot, you know. I mean, where she is right now, it's she's put a lot of hard work, kind of like yourself, you
Yeah.
know, coming from nothing to, you know, being who she is, you know,
Mhm.
same you know, it's just amazing. You put a lot of hard work, and so have you.
Thank you so much for that.
Tell me what has been one of your biggest struggles, and just and how did you overcome it? Just one of them that you can be like, I remember that. You'll never forget it. One of your biggest struggles.
I would say one of my biggest struggles would be listening to other people and letting them lead you down the wrong path. And I've learned that you can't do that, A. And B, you have to follow your gut and heart at all times. Or otherwise, you're going to find yourself listening to others or comparing yourself to others, or, what's the word I'm looking for? Envying others. Like all that stuff is a no good for your soul, you know? So you really just have to trust God and the universe and trust your gut for sure.
Nice. How about obstacles in your life? What was one of the biggest obstacles in your life that you had to overcome, and how did you overcome it?
One of the biggest obstacles in my life, I would say, probably be just honestly transitioning to a better me. I feel like every single day that, I wake up and I give thanks to God and stuff like that, I'm always, trying to figure out, okay, how can I be better than yesterday? And as humans, we're going to always have obstacles, no matter big, tall, short, medium, large, small, So it's just for me, just honestly, an obstacle for me is just like, just make sure that I can't get in the way of me or I can't let other people stop me.
Nice. Yeah. It's all, especially for me, it's mental. Like,
Mhm.
you know what you have to do, you know the things you got to do, you know the goals that you said, and sometimes it gets in here.
Yeah,
Do you find like your mindset has changed throughout the years, or do you still go back to certain like little things that stop you from reaching your goals?
I would definitely say my mindset changes almost every year. Like, for instance, I like to use cheerleading as an example. Like, if you look at cheerleading back in the days, it was completely different, right? And then if you look at it last year, it's going to be completely different from last year than this year. And I look at it the same way with my life. Like, I was different 5 years ago. I was different 2 years ago. And now with me, I always tell myself, next year you have to be a better you. So in that case, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Nice, nice. You're always striving for that extra
That extra mile,
success.
yes,
Yeah.
that extra mile of success for sure. That is key.
All right, Chris. So the only reason why I asked you about your struggles and is because I saw this message that was written to you on one of your Instagram posts, right? And it goes like this. It says, "If only people knew how far you have came, how long and hard your road was to how long was to get to where you are now, so many would have quit. But thank God you're one. You're a man. I know. Just won't stop until it drops and won't quit until it's lit, which means you will achieve your goals. And in just waiting until you hear you say, Jima, mom, everybody, I made it." So, first, who is this person to you that seems like has witnessed your struggles and is one big supporter of yours? Second, can we please talk about this and what you've gone through? And can we talk about how long of a bumpy road you've been on?
Okay, that was such a sweet message. Could you just say the last part one more time for me? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You didn't expect this one, did you?
I did not. That's a secret message. That one got me really good. Just the last part.
The last part. So, so the first question is, who is this person to you? And then, that has seen your struggles and is a big supporter of yours. And second, let's talk about this. And can we talk about how long and bumpy road you've been on?
Okay. So first, that's crazy. That's just such the person I would probably say that could be to me is either my grandmother, maybe. That sounds like something my grandmother would type. But if not, I'm so sorry. I apologize. But back to the struggles part, they're
It's
probably
okay.
insinuating we're talking about just in general. Like I said, growing up for me, it wasn't easy, but it also wasn't super hard. I'm truly like convinced that I do believe that my mom did her very best with having 5 children and being a single mom. So to all my single moms out there, I taught my hat off to you because it is hard. It is really hard. And on top of that, trying to keep everybody in something so they stay out of trouble and harm's way, you know? And so that's why I really congratulate my mom for that because if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. And as far as like being on my own, like leaving high school, going all the way to California by myself, that wasn't easy either. Like I think if I remember correctly, I moved out there with little to no money and on flight points to be exact, and didn't know when the last time I was going to, come back home for a holiday or even to just say hello and visit. So that's why I don't know. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and it's I'm happy to say now I'm at that point in my life now where I know I can literally do anything I want to comfortably without, feeling stressed or trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. So with that being said, they're absolutely right. I'm going to keep my head up. I'm going to keep going forward and I'm always going to focus on my goals and work hard, play harder.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that message was from your grandma. I was going through your feed and I saw that message pop up. It was like this long message, and then I think it is your grandmother.
Hmm.
Because you responded to it. It was actually one of your posts.
Hmm.
Um, and it says, and you wrote, "I love you too." So I'm assuming it's your grandmother.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, I wanted to know that because grandmas, moms, they see what you go through, and
Yeah, and I give props to my grandmother too because she played a big part, and so did my adopted mom at the time. So like whenever my mom couldn't do certain things when it came to like the expenses of the sport and even for gymnastics as well, she played a big role making sure I got to practice on time, make sure like, I had this and that to make sure I was actually really good and ready set to go. So my hat goes off to a lot of people.
nice, nice. I bet there was a lot of people involved in your life to help you.
Yes, it was. What's the saying? It takes a village.
Takes a village,
It definitely takes a village. So
and that doesn't stop right now.
no, it
It,
doesn't. Even like I've learned like with my friends and my teammates now, like being off in college and stuff and sharing at Navarro, we're all as one. And it takes a village over there as well. So it doesn't stop at all.
nice. So if we need to get stronger, we usually, let's say we lift heavy, right? But how do you get stronger mentally? What's your process as far as getting stronger mentally?
So one of my favorite quotes that Maya Angelou best said, nothing will work unless you do. And if you can live by that mantra mentally, you can get through whatever you need to. If you just simply think about it, like if you're not doing anything, nothing's going to work. But if you're really applying, that 1,000% or that 110%, you're going to get through it no matter what, for sure.
Nice, nice, very good. So, was there ever a point in your life where you wanted to give up life in general, or just cheer, or you wanted to give up?
I'm going to say no, because I know at the end of the day, if I do give up, then I've lost so much that I've worked on. Now, there's days where I've witnessed some of my friends and teammates, they have those moments where they just feel like, they're worthless and they don't give up. And I just remind them, like, you have to trust and believe in yourself first. and the rest will come naturally.
Touching again on adversity, how do you overcome adversity when it hits you right in the face? How do you overcome that?
I love that that question first and foremost. But my thing is when it comes to adversity, I'm going to revert back to being human. We're all human. We're always going to have adversity, and it's not so much about like how to overcome it. It's so much about like for me avoiding it and dealing with it because you're going to always have obstacles. And so as far as for me, I just make sure like I'm staying positive 24/7. And if I feel like there's an obstacle in my way, I'm going to utilize my resources. And one thing that Coach Monica taught me is you have to always utilize your resources. And even when it comes to adversity, if you're going through something, figure out those your nearest resources or your closest resources and make them work. And I guarantee you will overcome what you're going through for sure.
Nice. It's that village. Those resources are your village.
Literally, literally.
Nice. And you know what? When you talked about adversity and either avoiding it or dealing with it, I believe like if we avoid it, it's always going to be there. But if we deal with it head on and have a solution, even if it doesn't have a solution, why are you going to stress about it? If it has a solution, why are you going to stress about it? You know what I mean? So it's better to deal with it head on. Would you agree with me?
Oh, I totally agree. And it's funny that you're using the term stress. I started this saying maybe 3 years ago. Actually, I've seen it on, I think it was on an Instagram reel or something or a video. And I think it was Steve Harvey that was saying, whenever you say stress, it creates a psychological pattern in your head to the point that you're going to always say that you're stressed. But if you say if you find a different word other than using stress, then before you know it, you're never stressed. So what I say is, I'm never stressed. I don't say the word stress. What is stress? And now I can count the number of times on my hand that I've said I'm stressed this year. Probably none. Probably maybe one time. But back then, I used to always say, oh my gosh, I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I'm stressed about this. I don't know what to do. And always found myself in a debacle situation or something. But it's just, it goes back to like, speaking certain things into existence and don't, don't believe in certain things like that, such as stress. Like, I just don't say that at all. And that helped me came a long way in my life, honestly.
Something in that same um aspect of saying to yourself, stress, you're gonna become stressed, right? I have you ever done this where if you start your day being positive and you say today's gonna be a good day? I did this back then when I was going through some, like in my mind, going through some things, right? I used to say, I'm going to have a good day. And I heard it somewhere, right? And I said, and it worked. I'm like, today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a great day. And I was actually manifesting and putting that in myself, in my mind, that no matter what I wasn't going to have a bad day. And it works. It's like you start thinking positive. Once you say to yourself, today's going to be a good day, your day changes completely.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And it also goes back to that saying, when people say, make sure you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're gonna feel a lot better. That's actually a real thing. Like I've tested that theory and it really is real because there were days like I wouldn't make my bed, but I would literally go to class or something, but also feel like just cluttered. But if I make my bed in that morning, my day is like smooth. I just felt put together in a way. So it's weird that you say that. I totally agree.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's so awesome, man. Let me ask you another thing. If you said you went to uh Navarro College. So if you had the option to choose again, Navarro College cheer or TVCC, would you switch it up or would you pick the same?
I would stick to my roots.
Yeah.
Yes, only because for me, I'll be honest, when I first got the call that I made Navarro my first year, I didn't really know of TBCC from like a cheer stands for. I knew there was a school, and I knew that Navarro competed against. Competed against them,
Huh?
but I didn't understand their style of cheerleading. I really didn't know much about them, so that's why I said I'll just stick to my roots because I love Navarro and I love everything it has to offer. I learned a lot of life lessons, and quite frankly, Navarro was the first college cheer team that I ever made. This is my second year technically really doing college cheer.
Ah, wow. And so you would stick to it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And with that, what is one of the things that you've learned from cheer or being a collegiate cheerleader that you apply to your life and you live by it?
One thing I can say that I've learned is that you're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. And make the good days count, but also learn from the bad days. So that's what I really learned, and I literally take that everywhere I go now. So, and even from a cheer standpoint, when it comes to teams and stuff, I'm like, okay, if I could do Navarro, I can do any team that's thrown at me because Navarro is hard mentally and physically. So that's what I've learned.
Wow, they push you hard.
Yeah, you're pushed hard. And what makes it hard, like I said, goes back to the all-star world. If you're doing all-stars, it's more on your body because you have all-star practice on top of Navarro practices, and you're two-a-days at Navarro. So it's just cheer, cheer, cheer Monday through Sunday.
Wow. What would you say is the hardest for you, or what would you say the hardest has been for you, also cheer or college cheer?
I would say personally college cheer because you have to balance that school life with a social life on top of sports. So I would definitely say college cheer. It's not like in high school. It's not like high school cheer or middle school cheer. That's why I was thankful that I was able to cheer in high school a little bit. So I did get that sideline feeling. But college would be completely different and a little bit more difficult. And you're dealing with a lot of people. So college cheer for sure.
You guys do a lot of events too?
Yes, we do a lot of events. We have something that's my favorite. It's called High Five Fridays, where we would go to different schools and pretty much once the kids get off the bus and stuff, you give them high fives, wish them a good day, and yeah, and then sometimes we read books to children and all that fun stuff as well.
You go to like middle schools or high schools and do that?
So it's elementary schools, middle schools. Yep.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's different for me because I've never experienced anything like that before. So I like it. I like it. It's very small town vibes, but it's really cool.
No, that's cool. You know how much a high five could mean to somebody?
Yeah, exactly. It means a lot because those kids, their faces are so excited.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Um, so what is one of the things that you've learned, or let me ask you this. What is the best piece of advice that you've learned from your coaches?
So Dustin and Monica, they have this saying, they said this will be the best job ever. And what they really mean by that is soak up the moment that, you're doing this, you're at Navarro and just live and have fun at the end of the day. Because once you're done with it, you can't get it back. And I take that in life. It's like whatever you do, whether it's, your favorite job or, you're this big social media star, enjoy it because it will soon come to an end. And once it comes to an end, it will just be a memory in history.
Ah, that's cool. That's great advice. Live your
Mhm.
life at the moment,
Yeah.
pretty much. That's great.
And I honestly personally wouldn't say live in the moment. I would say, just enjoy what you're doing and love what you're doing because before you know it, it will be gone.
Would you say be present?
Be present for sure. Check in. That's to say, for sure.
Check in. I like that. And maybe you did maybe I did you did answer this question, but what is like to be coached by Monica Aldama? Aldama.
It's it's one for the books. I can definitely say she's very knowledgeable at what she does. And I'm amazed every single day because it goes back to that business mind also. She reminds me a little bit of Beyonce in certain ways because business mind, it's crazy. I'm like, okay. So now I know how to do certain things or, even when it comes down to choreography or even, just finding uniforms and stuff, like watching her do it and me seeing how much time her and Dustin spend in that office. I know what it takes to make an amazing program. And you can, and not just in cheer, you can utilize those things in businesses as well. You got to work hard to play harder, for sure. And Dustin and Monica, they do a great job at that.
Wow. Well, you knew that she is a business major. She has a business major.
Yes, I knew that. And it shows in cheerleading, which I'm like appalled by because I'm like, that is crazy. She literally utilizes her business major into something that she loves the most, which is cheerleading. And now look at the track record.
Yeah, it shows for sure.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go into the Gram Q&A, Instagram Q&A.
Dun, dun, dun.
We have some people that have questions and they think you have answers, which I'm pretty sure you do. So here's my first question for you from the Gram. When should you start? Wait, let me tell you this. This is from Lily. I did a podcast with her just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
She's an amazing flyer. She's
Hi, Lily.
amazing.
Hi, Lily.
Awesome. So she has a question for you. When should you start attending college clinics if you want to cheer in college?
Great question, Lily. I personally would say the earlier, the better. So back in my times, private lessons for college flying wasn't really a big thing. I mean, it was okay. But now that you guys you're accessible to a lot of things now, I would say take advantage of private lessons when it comes to co-ed flying and college tumbling as well. Early as possible, the better. And then for clinics, I would say if you can find a college or a university that are doing clinics with sophomores, juniors, and seniors, jump right in it. Because I know a lot of them start junior and senior year in order to attend a clinic. But if you can find someone or you know someone that's willing to take you under their wing super early and you can attend that clinic, girl, jump on it because it's going to help you so much more than ever. I personally started clinics my junior year of high school. I was at every single University of Alabama clinic. I went to University of Tennessee clinics. I went to, oh my gosh, so many clinics. And before I knew it, it helped me so much because it built that atmosphere that I needed for college cheer.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great advice. I'm sure she'll
Mhm,
love that.
mhm.
Okay, yeah, I have another question for you. Um, Here we go. Somebody asked, "Where are you now, and do you like it?"
Where am I now?
I'm not sure if they're saying as far as like living or where are you are in life, but where you are now, and do you like it?
Okay, so I will answer both of those questions in my own way. From a living perspective, I'm currently in Corsicana, Texas. Do I like it? I do. It reminds me so much of home, like Alabama, because I mean, it's Bible Belt state, and Corsicana really gives Bible Belt city. So yeah, I like it. Personally in life now where I'm at, I'm constantly thinking about what's next after cheer because I do know I can't do this forever. So maybe I'll see you like in 5 years as a big mogul or an iconic pop star. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And do I like those? Yeah, I would say I like that. I can see myself doing that. But no, but not really. I do foresee myself with a oval position. Um, maybe like House International Affairs for the United States with my political science degree. So politics is my next road, I believe.
Nice. Or the right hand of Beyonce.
Very true. Very true. Well,
Right hand man.
the right hand man, although I think she's at that retiring state, but hey, we'll keep pushing.
Exactly. Hey, that's a goal.
Exactly. That is a goal.
That's awesome, man. Another question from the gram. Here we go. Name some of your favorite coaches.
Well, I don't like any of them. No, I'm just kidding. Some of my favorite coaches, I would say Happy Hooper from Ace Cheer Company. I would definitely say Brad Havermeal, Angela Rogers, Leroy McCollum. I love me some PBL. So all the PBL coaches, Allie, Mike, Jamila, Don, Katie, you all get a hug from me as well. I would definitely say I love me some Jose from Top Gun, Miami. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, my California All Stars family. I had a great time there with coaching as well. Tanaz, Marlon, they were amazing. And yeah, I think that's it. So
Cool.
shout out to the coaches. Yeah.
Shout out to the coaches. They're the
Mhm.
ones who made you who you are.
Exactly, for sure. For sure.
Okay, I have another question for you from the gram. Here we go. Have you ever been on a team with a coach or a teammate who felt like we're just not a fit?
Have I ever been on a team with a coach or a teammate and felt like,
It was just not a fit.
yes. Um,
Oh boy.
yes. And do I have to go into detail? I mean, I
You
don't
don't
want.
have to. You don't have
Yes.
to.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's it. That's all they wanted to know. Have you ever felt? Yes. They didn't. Yep. You don't have to go into detail.
Okay. But
Perfect.
I don't mind going into details. If you guys want me to go into details, drop a comment below of this podcast and let me know, and we'll get into it. And that would be another segment on Cheer Up Podcasts. Boom.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. We'll get into details that. Okay, so I have one last thing to wrap things up, Quez. You've been amazing. Seriously, you will inspire and touch so many athletes with what you've said on this podcast. And this is my whole purpose of doing this is to reach like people like you, cheerleaders, athletes that have gone through so many to be where they are right now, right? So I have one last thing to wrap this up. Let's just say all the cheer videos online go away. There's nothing cheer related, nothing as far as cheer goes online. And it's only you with all this knowledge, life lessons that has brought you, that has given you through cheer, right? Everything goes away. And you're just you and one athlete, right? Give me 3 valuable lessons that you can pass on to this athlete so they can be successful.
3 valuable lessons that I would pass on. A would be keep your head up and keep moving forward. B, I would definitely say life will always be tough. You just have to rock and roll with the punches, and you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And C, stay determined.
Nice. I love that. Thank you
You.
so much, brother. Thank you for being on the podcast. I appreciate you. Man,
Thank
this
you.
was awesome.
It's been tremendously amazing, and I want to give a big thank you for having me as well. And you continue what you're doing, and I will see you at the top.
Absolutely. I thank you so much, man, for your kind words. You have no idea how much that means to me. It helps me keep going and it actually gives me a purpose as to why I'm doing this. And to hearing you say that, it just means so much, man. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I got you anytime.
Thank you. So this is a wrap. Thank you so much, Quest. Woo!
At sound effects.
Yes. All right, Quest. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. This is another episode of Cheer Up. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Quez. We're going to cut it right here. Thank you so much, Quez.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me. And you guys stay blessed and keep pushing. Don't stop.
Thank you. Peace out.
Peace.